Today was a classic example of the media saying one thing and reality being something else. Kevin Rudd's media mates giving his version of events versus reality. Now, there are very few people, and full credit to the people here at Sky News who have done it, but very few people who have called out Kevin Rudd and Deputy Prime Minister Toole on one of the great lies of this election campaign. If you believe the 6pm news, they're going to build a high-speed rail network. Have a look.
And even down here, his vision to create jobs.
Making sure we are building and building for the future.
He then followed it up with funds for a high-speed rail link from Sydney to Canberra by 2030, to Melbourne by 2035 and eventually to Brisbane, locking up a 1,700-kilometre corridor and 10,000 jobs.
If we do not have world-class infrastructure, there is no future for the Australian economy.
Goody, they're going to build a high-speed rail network. This is going to be fantastic. Well, guess what? They're not going to build a high-speed rail network. In the announcement that happened today, all that happened was that Anthony Albanese and Kevin Rudd said that over the next 4 years they would find $54 million, and that would go into a study, into a commission, into public servants who would work out how to build a high-speed rail deep into the 2030s, OK? They're not building one. They're going to hire more, the best case scenario, they're going to hire more public servants to work out where to build it, what suburbs to go through. Oh, yeah, and there's the part of it that they left out of the glowing news reports this evening. They would have to buy people's houses back off them at market rates in order to have the room to put the rail tracks down to actually run the high-speed rail network. And you see, there seemed to be some confusion as well between Kevin Rudd, who was desperate to beat this thing up, and, well, why did he have to when there were people like Lane Calcutt in the news world who were more than willing to write it down and just repeat it? You see, the original promise is that there would be a high-speed rail network between Sydney and Canberra, then there would be one between Canberra and Melbourne. There's no mention of the one to be built to Brisbane by 2035, it's just Kevin Rudd who's added it on in the end. The point is this. And is that they are not building high-speed rail. And by the way, it's not even a new announcement. Mike Baird, the New South Wales Treasurer, yes, a Liberal, tweeted this out earlier today, which is fantastic, that in the 5th of August in 2010, there was moving forward with high-speed rail. Guess who put it out? Anthony Albanese. We've seen it before, they're doing it again, and disgracefully, there are people in the press who decide not to pull these people up. They just run it and run it and run it, desperately hoping that this is going to push the opinion polls. But good on David Lipson, who actually put this all to Anthony Albanese, saying, hang on, you're not really building it, it's not real money, it's all into the future. And you announced this 3 years ago. He pulled a David Bradbury. Have a look.
Forgive me for being cynical, but this isn't just a vehicle to make that point, is it, this announcement today?
Well, this is a serious piece of work. And if you'd been following any of the debate, you would know that we commissioned a study. The sort of attitude that you're projecting through Tony Abbott, frankly, is the sort of attitude that would have seen no Snowy Mountain scheme, no compulsory superannuation.
Rubbish. Anthony Albanese is shameless. He is shameless when it comes to talking about what the Labor Party is going to do with Greens preferences, and he's shameless pretending that people are going to build a high-speed rail network. The only problem is that the majority, well, in fact, there isn't a person in Australia who believe they'll actually build this, except for the people who are in love with Kevin Rudd and driving around in the bus with him all day, every day. Fair dinkum. Well done to our team, well done to David Lipson, and a huge black mark on people whose job it is to cover politics, who just cover the Labor announcement of the day. What's the point of putting journalists on the bus if all they're going to do is just repeat the claims? You might as well save the money and just cut up the tape and send a cameraman. It's ridiculous.